So, using spousal support or child support as income, can you do that? I mean, I know the answer, but I'm helping you guys.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can use child support, but there are stipulations.
Hi, friends. Welcome to My Divorce Real Estate. I'm Amber Gifford, and this is my business partner and teammate.
SCOTTY Gifford.
I want to know, and I'm sure other people want to know too. Maybe they don't even know. What you don't know, you don't know.
Can hurt you? Wait.
Can or can't?
Both.
Both,
Yeah.
yes. Okay, anyway. So, using spousal support or child support as income, can you do that? I mean, I know the answer, but I'm helping you guys.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can use child support, but there are stipulations for it. So,
So let's just say I filed for divorce and I know I'm going to be getting child support because I went to the giffordgroup.net and I got on the child support calculator and I know how much my husband makes. So I estimated what my child support I will be receiving.
mm-hmm.
And if you're going to be giving it away, you also can see that too. But anyway, I know what I'm going to be receiving and I come to the table and I'm like, listen, I'm going to be getting X amount of dollars. My children are little. Can I use that as my income when I want to qualify for a house?
And I'm going to tell you yes, but there's going to be stipulations. Those stipulations we can break it down as the 6 and 36 rule.
Okay.
So that means you need to first six means you need to be receiving that support for at least 6 months for us to count it.
Okay.
And then the 36 says it needs to continue on for at least 36 months or 3 years, right? So, like if your child is 18, well then we might not be able to count that income because it's going to end at say when he turns 18 or graduates high school, right? So
Got it.
knowing those dates and knowing how old your children are and how long you're going to be receiving that income is going to matter.
So the cool thing is that yes, I can use it and it would behoove me, would you say, yes or no, that when I get into temporary orders, usually you have a hearing for temporary orders, which is not meaning you're it's just going to go over the logistics of your household, who's staying, who's going, if you're going to stay, and who's going to pay the bills, that kind of stuff. It is imperative that already in those temp orders that I maybe receive, let's just say I get an allowance from my husband and he's like, here's your 2 grand a month, you can pay the bills, you can go get groceries, this is your portion of it. That can be considered child support given to me because it's paid directly to me into my account, correct?
Yeah, so if that's what if your child support's going to be the 2,000 and he's paying you those for the 6 months during those temporary orders, and then as long as we can, once we have 6 months of received payments, right,
Mm-hmm.
then we can count those and start using that for.
Assuming the child support that I'm telling you or the allowance I'm receiving isn't going to go down.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't go down, right? So like if it's he's giving you more and it's going to go down, then we might not be able to count that income because it's not all of a sudden we would see that payment now it's lower than what we were
Right.
expecting, right? So we need it's just about documentation of qualified income is what we're talking about, and what's we always want to talk about qualified income because like we talk about if you haven't had if you start a business, I can't count that income unless you've had it for 2 years on tax returns and like that. So we need to be able to have talking about qualified income when we're talking about mortgages, right?
So you can use child support even if you're using getting an allowance. Say you're a stay-at-home mom and you're getting an allowance and your husband who you're going to be divorcing, but your divorce isn't finalized for 4 months. You can still use it as long as he's paying you that allowance amount and it's going to be that or higher.
Yeah.
And that can be as qualifying. So that's a really cool thing, actually, that some people don't know. So in your temporary orders, it's notated that you continue paying that allowance to your wife
Mm-hmm.
X
Yeah.
amount of dollars.
And then there's the other cool kind of thing I think is which most people don't know, and is that we can actually do a step up in basis in that child
Yes.
support, right? So let's just use an example. If you're getting $1,000 a month of child support, and you've been getting it for 6 months and it's continuing on for 3+ years, and you go, okay, well it's $1,000, but for qualifying income because you don't pay taxes on child support money,
Right.
right? It's already taxed when the spouse received it, so giving it to you is not a taxable event for you. So then we can actually do a step up in basis of 25% on that child support, which I think is really useful. So now instead of just $1,000 of income towards the mortgage, we can count towards your DTI ratios and everything. Now we can use the 1250, right?
So 25%.
Increase, yeah.
Is this a Texas thing?
No, this is going to be like a nationwide thing. So
That's really cool. So a lot of people probably don't know about that. So that's
yeah,
awesome.
and then the same thing is if it's coded as alimony or spousal support, it'll be this kind of the same rule, right? And then the other thing, if you're up in age and Social Security, we can do a step up in basis in Social Security funds too because it's not taxed as well too.
Nice. So I don't think a lot of people realize that in your temporary orders, these are kinds of things that should be discussed, especially if you're talking about money that you're receiving in an allowance form. Like you can call it whatever it is, but if your husband is paying you money or your wife is paying you money per month to go buy groceries or pay the mortgage or whatever the case may be, you can use that as income as long as it's being paid directly to you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to be keeping the house and you're staying in it, it's imperative to have you actually take that money to pay the mortgage, correct?
Yeah, it'd be better and beneficial if you're actually receiving that money versus the ex paying the mortgage, because then we can
For
see
you.
that, hey, yeah, because you were going to be receiving spousal support, and now that can count towards the documentation of those 6 months. Because otherwise, you're going to have to, get to the temporary orders, get through the final orders, and now you're going to have to wait another 6 months to, before we can start counting that income wise. Or during those temporary orders, if you've been making those payments, they can actually count that income sooner, so then you can refinance much sooner, other than waiting 6 months after the divorce has been finalized. So hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, and majority of this is following around kind of temporary orders and using an allowance or a child support. So we hope you found that informational for you. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to us at www.thegiffordgroup.net. And as always, we're here to bring you real life experiences to all your real estate needs. I was just gonna do that. I didn't do anything on the other ones. Okay, bye.